everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Bent with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got Sam Varga coming on. He's doing some great things in the music world. He's based in Nashville now, but he's from Louisville, Kentucky. So we're excited because, as you know, that she's a Kentucky girl. So it's pretty cool to have someone on right from Kentucky too. So again, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome.
How's it going, y'all?
It's going good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you all so much for having me. I'm real excited.
It's our pleasure to bring you on. So, as we were talking before, how has COVID affected you? And what have you done to kind of maneuver through this crazy new maze we have?
Man, that's the whole question, right? To be completely honest with you all, I was dead in the water. And there's no way around it. The timeline did not match up for Sam Varga's music career there for a second. I released an album, an EP called Light Me Up, and it dropped the Friday of those really bad Nashville tornadoes.
Wow.
So that was interesting. Everything kind of stopped there.
Wow.
And we had, but that was also a really beautiful time for Nashville as well, because I was living in East Nashville where so much of this happened, and you got to see the community come together. So always a silver lining, but definitely the album didn't do much, during that week. And then we had the release show, which was planned about a week and a half after. And it just so happened that show hit on the night before quarantine went into effect.
Oh, wow.
So, what do you do? That was a year-long project. And I miraculously saw some really great numbers from it. So the single was doing well. The EP was doing pretty well. But, all the support shows that we had, obviously one by one, this got canceled, this got canceled, this got canceled. So there was a down period. I was sitting at home, reading a lot of books, watching a lot of documentaries, probably cracking open a couple too many cold ones around noon, because and then I just got ready. It was like, listen, this isn't going away for a while. And if this is the world we're living in, I'm going to get back to work. And so I decided that I was going to bleed the EP a little bit more. We did some music videos. And then I went back into the studio and just started getting singles in the back pocket. And if I'm not touring, then I can still release music. And that felt really good. That was a lesson in, DIY, do it yourself. Don't wait for other people. Get in there, and had some great sessions. Great songs got written. And now coming out of that, having done so much on my own, I'm not waiting for anybody anymore. And and then ironically, this is where all the things start happening. And because of all the work I did in quarantine, here we're in. Got some more press on the song. We were on Taste of Country, which was a blast.
Oh wow!
And so here we are. So thank you, quarantine. But I'm very ready for you to be. We're all kind of open up again.
Talk about the silver lining. That's like for us. We launched this show January of 2020, so a couple months before quarantine happened.
Yeah,
and. And here it is. Our original plan was to do 100 interviews our first year. We thought, hey, if we could just do that, that would be, and we thought that was pushing it.
That would be a lot,
And so that was the plan, 100 interviews. Then COVID happened, and I'm sitting there watching the entertainment industry get shut down. I'm sitting there thinking, ooh, this could be a silver lining for our show, because people who normally wouldn't come on a brand new show might be willing to come on a show. Because everything getting shut down. So I started reaching out to everybody. And because of that, we did over 300 interviews last year. And we even had people like Sarah Evans, Randy Travis,
Lee Bryce, Cassidy
Pope, and some of the other ones like that come on the show. And I mean, we even had, because we do actors and artists now because it was started just music, but now it's kind of entertainment in general. But we even recently had one of the biggest villains of soap opera history come on, a girl, an actress that played Sheila Carter on Young and Restless.
There you go. Okay.
So, so all of a sudden, this craziness of COVID became a blessing for our show. But we're like you. Now it's time to get back to normal, though. Our show's foundation is built. Let's move forward.
Yes.
And then, what a great foundation to have as well, because, now because of COVID, you all have this momentum that you all can just keep on riding off of. And I think that the music industry saw the same thing, where it was like, well, we always have to get people into the same room. And I was listening to an interview the other day, and they're just like, that's never going to go back to normal, and it's almost okay. It's like, there's no limits now. We've gotten so used to making the Zoom and the cross-country stuff work now. Like,
it's going to be combined. I predict that the new phase of concerts, and I actually seen somebody recently do this, but I've been predicting that now you're going to have your face-to-face concerts, and you're going to live stream where people can pay $5 to be part of it from your online world. So now the artist is going to make money from the local show, but also around the world, because people, their fans will want to be a part of that. And I just saw on Facebook that Kristen Bush was saying, hey, we're going to be in so-and-so live. And you know what? If you can't make it, $20 for tickets, you can still participate. So I'm like, yep, there's the future.
There it is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's pretty cool, that the technology's always been there.
That's a good thing. It can be used now.
The pandemic's kind of opened the people's ideas. Oh, we can combine, because, you've always loved the local shows, but people who can't get there sometimes can get frustrated because when are you coming to my city? Well, what if you don't? Well, guess what? You can still be a part of it even if you're not there.
And people have done some really creative live streams. I really thought that what just to point out a couple artists, two of my favorites, Jason Isbell and Rustin Kelly, both did some really, really cool live streams, and were able to make it, an event. It's not just, hey, here's a one-shot thing where we're watching an artist play through songs. Is really interactive. And I know my girlfriend Kaylee Shore did this huge event at TPAC, Tennessee Performing Arts downtown Nashville. And so this ginormous stage, and they dropped this screen in front of you, and they had people from across the country being able to ask questions. So, necessity is the engine of innovation. And we all of a sudden see cool stuff. Like you said, the technology was always there, but, maybe we didn't pay enough attention to it. So,
another cool thing, talking about artists, we just booked for May 4th, Taylor Dane. And she's, I think she still does a lot of stuff, but as back in the early 90s, late 80s, she was the it girl. I mean, she was huge, and we just booked her for the show for May 4th. So we're definitely excited.
I'll be tuning in for that one. That sounds fun.
That'll be interesting.
It will, to get her story.
And it's funny. We're just two people that just had this crazy idea, and we're sitting at home talking to all these different artists, people like you and other people, and we're just like, we get to do this. And it's just,
we're blessed to get to do it.
I feel the same way. I don't know how the stars aligned that I got to, for this long, but I'm very. Did I lose you? We're good to go? Still here?
We're good. For a second,
we can hear you now.
But so what are some hobbies you like to do outside of music?
Oh man, let's see. I like reading. I'm trying to get better at it. Trying to get my mind to slow down a little bit for it. I love being outside. I love shooting. People don't know that a lot, but I've always been a good shot. I was on Kentucky State rifle team whenever I was in high school. So I really love doing that. And then, I hope it doesn't sound like a cop out, but the music is still is still just so fun. It's so fun to me. You know, I love learning about music. I love the history of it. And you know, I'm a gearhead so hard. Like I want all the guitars. I can't get enough. I need guitars like I need food. So so I'd say that, and then you know, anything that gets me outside doing something exciting.
Yeah.
I love going fast. So, you know, if I can get into, you know, a go-kart or, you know, go get on a wave runner or four-wheelers, that's always a blast. I've been skydiving once, hope to do it more. I'm just, that gets expensive. So kind of an adrenaline junkie. But, you know, also it's, you know, it's also very, very, very lucky to be able to do what you love for a job. Other than that, I hope it doesn't make me sound, you know, too bad, but I really love bourbon. I don't know. I wouldn't know if I would call drinking a hobby, but I'm a bourbon snob, whiskey snob through and through. If you want someone get chatty, let's just start talking about bourbon, because I'll be able to go on for
I love that. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people would ask, when did you know you wanted to do music? But I always like to go deeper than that. When did it click that this could actually be a career?
Oh, I don't know if it has.
You're just having too much fun.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I'm still going, you know, been going this long. I think any single time that I don't know if a lot of musicians think about it. You know, this is something that we, at least for me, that we, like you all said, this is something that I get to do. And whenever you get that paycheck, you know, at the end of a show, or you go into your, you know, your little royalty thing on, you know, whatever your distributor is, and you get to cash out whatever meager dollars you have in there, you're like, I'm doing the thing. This is gonna work. I'm doing it. But you know, that's still a fight for a lot of people, especially now in maybe the quarantine where you're in COVID, where you're not getting to play as many shows. Luckily, that's lifting, but we all got day jobs until we don't. So I've been bartending, and right now I got this crazy gig with a friend where we go around and put up birthday signs for kids and stuff. So yeah, when did I know that it was going to be a career? I don't know if I ever thought of it that way. To me, it was just kind of that or nothing.
That's what you do.
Hope the money comes. So
I guess that's kind of what we, you know, now, granted, when we launched the show from day one, the goal was to be a new career here.
Yeah.
You know, not made no money yet, but we're getting there. We're building that brand.
We have our side gig in the evening.
You know, we do side stuff
delivery
to stay afloat while we do all this and trying to build this crazy brand. And a lot of people never understand, because we get where y'all are coming from, because you know, a lot of people don't understand the artist, and I should say the creative mind, not just artists, but the people who have the creative mind. The average person don't understand that, because again, you have to create or you're miserable.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely the barometer. You definitely, you know, whenever I start getting really bummed out or a little bit depressed, I just says like, when was the last time you wrote a song?
Yes.
Like, oh, it's been a bit. That's why.
That's like, I remember this was probably 6-7 months ago. I went through about 3 or 4 days where I was like miserable, and Sandy was like, "Go book somebody."
That's right. Yeah, we were on a little dry spell there.
we went about 4 or 5 days without interviewing. Now we go every day, pretty much interviewing. We had a small dry spell about 6-7 months ago, and she was just like, "Just go book somebody."
Like, you're miserable. Go book somebody. Yeah.
Good call, Sandy. Yep, that definitely nailed it.
Yep.
So a lot of people see the glory of like a Blake Shelton, of a Miranda, of a Carey, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles that it takes not just to get to their level, but even a career level within music. And I always want to talk about that because I think that most people kind of sugarcoat this side of music and entertainment because they see the glory. And people think, oh, it's easy and this and that. But I want to talk about the sacrifice side a little bit. And I'm going to tell a quick story that kind of helped guide where I want this to go. But back in 2014, we interviewed Allison Steele with Two Steel Girls. And at that time, they were full-time with music. I remember asking Allison what advice she'd given up and coming artists. I'll never forget what she said. She said, this may sound funny coming from someone full-time, but if you can see yourself doing something else, go do that and just keep this as a hobby. She goes, because the moment you want it to be a career, your life has to change. You no longer own your own life. Everybody around you owns a piece of you. Your friends and relatives never understand because they invite you to weddings, to cookouts, to weekends, to holidays. But when you're in that grind mode, you have to be all in. You have to say no to so much stuff. Then your family has to sacrifice. They have to give you up to the world and be willing to share you with the world. But then she added, but if you cannot see yourself doing anything else, then go all in. That's the only way that those kind of sacrifices could be worth it. What do you think of what she said? Let's talk about that.
Sorry to be jostling around. I just realized that I didn't have a charger in, so I'm plugging in a charger.
We understand.
I know that feeling. I've done that many times.
Yeah. Like the laptop's about to shut off.
I'll tell you, that's a question that's very near and dear to my heart. Those lights aren't too much, are they? Those are good.
No, they're fine.
My cousin his name's Austin Allenbaugh, and he's a race car driver. And he's had to sacrifice a whole lot, but that's what he wanted to do, and what he was going to do. Anything else was going to facilitate that. And he's an iron worker, and that's how he provides for his family and pays for racing. But we kind of had this same mantra for a long time, and I always remember what he said because he got advice from a senior race car driver named Dan Lasowski, who's very, very big in dirt racing. Said, if you want to do this, if you want to make it, quit your day job.
Wow.
And that's because, a plan B only takes away from the plan A.
Yeah. It does.
So, if you're toting this line where, I need money, or I need to make it to the family vacation, I need to do this, you're never quite doing it, are you?
Right.
Something changes where I'm a musician and I'm going to be in a bad spot here if I don't make money in a little bit. And oh man, the songs you write then. That's when you run out on the sidewalk with a guitar case open. That's when you go get the cover gigs, and that's when you kind of align yourself with the path. That's where you commit fully. That's where you're making your imprint on the universe versus vice versa. I agree. I agree with what Ms. Steele said for sure. If you can do something else, go do it. And
because the entertainment industry, people don't realize how tough it really is. And I know that artists don't like to see other artists as competition, but in reality, everybody that sings to a degree is trying to get the same eyeballs out there on them. And with
female as well. Yeah.
Yep. And with the internet and all that, it makes it that much more difficult because there's so many people on the internet, so many people doing the same. I mean, just like with what we do with our show, every time I see a big artist starting their own podcast, doing what we do, I'm sitting there like, so now we compete with them too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. But we love to do this.
We do.
And it's all love. It's nothing but love. We're lucky to get to do what we do. And I know from being with a female country artist, it's a lot different. We don't live in a perfect world, and the country music industry, the music industry at large, there's not the same opportunities for female artists yet. We're getting closer, and that's amazing. But
if you look at our list of people we've interviewed, it's probably 65% women.
Good. That's fantastic. but I've seen a level of competitiveness come out of that. Come out of that. It's like there's not as many spots. It's not as equal.
Right.
So if you can do something else, get out of my way because I'm here to do this. You know what I mean? So and there's nothing wrong with a little friendly competition. It just makes the tunes.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your most recent song.
Yes.
Oh man, that's a special one. That was one that kind of I have completely separate from all the other ones. Whenever you're doing this, at least especially for myself, I'm trying to find the sound, figure out what's uniquely Sam Varga. There's that in this song. This song was just something that I wrote because I needed to, wrote because I wanted to, and I'm putting out. I put out because I wanted to, and it's interesting to kind of I thought that was going to put more pressure on the single, but it actually alleviated a lot because I was this song is for me, and if you find what I found in it, then fantastic. This was a very special song I wrote about my grandfather. He was in kind of at the end of his battle with cancer, and we all saw the moment coming. So this was me, me just talking to him. This was me saying all the things to him that I couldn't say to him across the table. You don't want to talk about that type of stuff when you still have them here. You don't want to make them uncomfortable or anything like that. So I was in a room with an amazing writer named Sabrina Lentini, who's out in Los Angeles. And very quickly kind of just all dawned on me. It's like, nope, we're only writing one thing today. And that was an easy song to write. That was just what was going through my head that day. That was just what I was thinking. And had a lot of support there in that room with Sabrina. And we got something really, really special.
Oh wow!
And I didn't show anybody that song for a while because I thought it was inappropriate. I didn't want to be putting that out prematurely or showing everybody that I was thinking about this stuff while my grandfather was still with us.
Right.
But then I'm so glad I was able to honor him that way, and just kind of take a snapshot. And it's kind of an auspicious day. Because between you and I and everyone else watching, I was a blubbery mess about 20 minutes ago because I'm actually here at home in Louisville. I got my grandma Pearl with us, who's my grandpa's widow, and I would say goodbye to her at lunch, and she put something in my hand, and it was this. And this is my grandfather's 2-year AA token.
Oh wow! Oh, amazing.
Oh man!
And I went through 19 years of addiction, been sober for 13 myself.
Congratulations, sir! So you all know that this is a big thing, and it even got to be a little bit of a lighthearted thing because Grandpa was so involved in AA. His buddies, he went to every meeting, and he'd find a meeting if he was in a different city, and he'd just go talk. He wanted to be with those people. He wanted to help those people. He became a sponsor. He was extremely involved. It was a part of his salvation. And so, oh man, she put this in my hand, and I was a blubbery mess.
Wow! Love that. Definitely love that. So, speaking of being a mess, a little bit, tell us one of your favorite fan stories where a fan went above and beyond and did something that touched you.
Oh wow! I got invited to a fan's wedding, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Any single time, isn't that just the best part of this is getting to meet the people? I mean, that's what my grandpa would say. It's all about the people. It all comes down to money, but it's all about the people. I mean, the fans are the best part of this.
It's a balance. You got to make the money to make it work, but you can't make it work without the people.
It takes both. Yeah.
So I would say I'd say the wedding piece that was really great. But I had something happen to me, kind of retroactively. This was in the past. I was in a band called Scarlet Smile, which was like an emo punk band in high school, and I was in college, and I wasn't doing music at the time, and I was really messed up because I wasn't doing music. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. I was getting in a lot of trouble, and I was just kind of going back through Facebook pages and reliving all these old memories, and I found an inbox. I found all these unread emails, and there's fans in there. And there's a message from a fan of my old high school band that said, "Hey, my friend's going through a tough time, and your all's album saved her life and kept her alive. And I'd love to be able to give that to her again, but I can't find it anywhere online." And so we sent her the album, and she was overjoyed. So to know that you're in people that way, and to know that you're living a life that makes people present their best self to you whenever you meet them. Wow, how cool is that?
Love that. Now, as you know, a lot of people, they see you as the artist, but they don't see the teams behind you. And in our opinion, the teams never get the love that they deserve.
No, they don't.
But on our show, they get love, and because we always want to make sure that we recognize everybody that's made all this possible. So if you want to take a few moments just to tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
Oh, great. First team's the family. Mom, dad, all my great sisters. I'm the only son, only brother. So I got 3 sisters. Nothing without those people. So that's the first team, right? Is the home team. And then I'd say, the writers, the people I get to create with, those are some of the best. My girlfriend Kaylee is an amazing writer, amazing rock. We lean on each other a good bit through this crazy journey.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
She's something, man. And then I'm writing with a great young girl named Mia Mantia, who's about to take over the world, and I'm so delighted to do that. And then for me personally, I have my pedal steel player, Matt Clevern, never gets enough attention, but he is the secret sauce. He is this, this beautiful sonic tether between all the songs. He's the reason that I can be country and punk and rock all at the same time. I think Matt put that together so well. And then also got great publicist Maureen O'Connor, who's a legend. Yeah. I'm working with the 117 group in Nashville, Jack Farnham, and God, are they great? That the Taste of Country thing was amazing. I don't know if that would happen without them. So it takes a village, and then I'm also all the producers. A guy named Will Stone has been a huge part of my sound, big on my writing, and I'm in the studio right now with an amazing producer named Dan Smith. And those are my unsung heroes. And then also I probably
and we did put a request in, and we I think sent a date for Kaylee.
Oh, yeah. I'll be photobombing in the background.
Love it. Yeah. Speaking of teams, we have a third co-host that we always bring on.
Yes, we
our
do.
9-year-old little son. Sandy's going to go get him.
Yes, I'll get him.
And we've got a 2-year-old daughter that when she gets older, we'll be plugging her into the show too, because we are a family affair show.
Oh, very cool.
And what's funny about it is I've said it in almost every episode that we're a family affair show, and it clicked one day. I was like, you know what? That could be a media company name. And so we created the name Family Affair Media.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
And I was surprised. I was like, familyaffairmedia.com was actually available. I was like, it's mine now.
How's it going, man?
Hi, Sam. It's going good. So what's your favorite foods?
One of my favorite foods, I'm a Mexican food guy. Give me all of it. I want all the Mexican food in the world. Whenever you come to Nashville, you got to go to Baja Burrito. It'll blow your mind.
Yes.
You love Mexican food,
Yes,
don't you?
I do.
What's your favorite?
Mine is pizza.
Pizza. What's your favorite pizza?
Pepperoni, sausage, and supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just learned about Supreme because he always loves pepperoni and sausage. We tried Supreme recently for the
And
first
he
time for
loves
him,
it.
and he loves it.
All right. So here's the big question: does
All right.
pineapple belong on pizza?
What do
Huh.
you think?
What do you think?
Think it sounds good?
Yeah, I think it does.
I agree. I'd say why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show. I'm watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now. It is hilarious.
Really?
And what's
It's a-
yours?
Mine is SpongeBob.
Dude, I watch so much SpongeBob. SpongeBob's gonna be a classic. It already is. A
Yeah.
legend.
Yes, it is. And there's
It'll
gonna
be
be a
around.
new episode. Yeah, there's gonna be a new episode next Friday.
There we go. I love that.
And you know what's
Yeah.
been pretty cool is because he watches a lot of the Nickelodeon shows. So we've been able to bring on a lot of actors from his shows onto our show.
Oh, that's a blast. That's great.
So he's been able to ask him a few questions like this. So that's been pretty. I was like, why wouldn't I surround when I was little? You know.
No. That's awesome.
Yes. Bye, James.
That's me, dude.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, he's been in almost every episode, not quite every episode, but he's been in most of them.
Very cool.
Yes.
And we're at close to 400 now. So I don't know.
Congratulations, y'all.
It's because we've got we've done episodes of different places, and so we've got so many in other places. So I don't know the exact number, but we're close to 400.
Yeah, it's got to be close to 400.
Well done, y'all. That's fantastic.
So if you could co-write with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Luke Dick.
Oh wow.
I think he is just the sauce. That guy goes to the beat of his own drum, and because of that, everyone wants a Luke Dick song. You know, everyone. My buddy lives across from him, and we'll watch tour bus after tour bus pull up, just super big names come through, and they all want what he's got. And I think he's so original. I think he's a wordsmith. I think he's a genius. He's so colorful. I think he could do anything. I think he's great. So I would say him, or it's not a question I ask myself too much. I'd love to do something with Rustin Kelly. I think him and I are both from the emo punk scene, and we both wound up in Nashville. I would love to see what me and him could get into. Both probably show up in skinny jeans and heavy metal t-shirts, get a pedal steel in there, write some sad songs. That'd be a blast.
I love that.
I love it.
So this question will probably have 1,000 answers, but just think of the first one that kind of comes to mind. What is a song that you've heard that you wish you wrote?
Oh wow, I think about that all the time. I would say I wish that Polyester by Luke Dick, I think, is one of the best songs of 2020. That was amazing. There is a song by one of my friends whose name is Lauren Weintraub, and she's about to be something huge, and she has a song called Years on You.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one. The hook is I want to put some years on you. And then other than that, I have to say there's just so many.
No. That's why I said there's 1,000 answers.
Oh yes, so many great songs.
Need You Now. I'd take that paycheck. One of the biggest songs ever. I want some royalties from that. I wish I would have written Need You Now.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories of all time is the story where the guy was up on stage singing, I don't know if it was Bluebird but one of the songwriting bars in Nashville. And he's actually from Tybee Island, so close to where we live.
Yes.
But he was on stage and he sung a song, and this unknown guy comes in. You'll probably know the story in a minute,
Okay.
and tells him that I'm in Nashville to get signed, and when I get signed, I want to cut that song. And it happened to be Garth Brooks, and the song was "The Dance."
No.
Can you imagine that? Someone
Yeah.
no name comes to you and says, "I want to cut that song," and then and he becomes Garth Brooks.
That's the dream, right?
incredible.
And from what I
Yeah.
understand, that guy wrote most of Garth's songs.
Yeah, he wrote
Yeah.
a lot of
So,
There you go.
but I always love that story because it just shows, that one moment
yeah,
can change everything.
can.
You hope so. I think you. I used to talk to people about this all the time, and I don't believe there's anything. There's such thing as overnight success.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care how many stories I hear. I don't
Bunch
believe
of little moments that lead to that big one.
Absolutely. I think you're building the chips. You build the chips. You build the chips. You build the chips so that they can fall at the right moment. Nothing happens without the work.
Yeah, I like the story where you're on a hill and you got this big boulder, big one, and you're pushing it up the hill.
Yeah.
You can't see the top of the hill because the boulder is too big.
Yes.
So you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing, but you don't know how far that hill is. You don't know where the top is. And if you try to look around the boulder, or you try to look back, you're going to lose momentum of you pushing forward. And then, as you know, if the boulder starts coming back down, you done lost all momentum and you're going backwards.
Oh yes.
So you have to just keep pushing, and then that moment comes where after all that work of pushing, to where that boulder gets over the top of that hill, and now you better ride that wave to the next hill.
That's literally what I say to people when they ask me how I'm doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm pushing the boulder. That's what I say.
Because don't it feel like that?
Yes, it does. Pushing boulders, and then all of a sudden you're riding one. So
you don't know when that. I mean, again, the breakthrough is going to happen. It happens for everybody that doesn't quit. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it could be now.
And like you said,
10 years from now,
you have to keep going. If you back away from that, then that breakthrough won't happen. So you have to do the little moments and little moments and little moments, and then one day that one thing hits. Like with Luke Combs. I mean, I love with Luke Combs. I guess a year ago, I think he tweeted out thanking all the label execs that told him those 6 songs that went #1 would never make it, and they all went #1.
Yeah, so we were talking the other day, and it was like, listen, man, because I had some friends who were in a bad deal, and they're just like, oh man, listen, bad deals happen every day. I was like, I like one of those. I think I'm ready for one of those bad deals.
I guess sometimes a bad deal can be better than no deal, right?
Absolutely.
At least it gets you. There's so many. I've seen so many people complain about the bad deal, but the bad deal got them to where they are now. So in a way, it was still a blessing because without the bad deal, they wouldn't be on top of the world now making their own choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, almost every big artist, their very first label signed was probably a bad deal.
Oh, for sure.
But now they get to write their own paycheck.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that day.
So we interviewed Kelsey Ballerini 6 years ago, and one of the questions I asked her is where she wanted to be in 5 years. And I always like to tell this story before I ask the guests that same question, because the answer she gave us 6 years ago was almost to the T of what she's living now. I mean, she knew where she was going, and nothing was going to stop her. There wasn't no such thing as women can't make it in country for her. She was going, and I remember that. So knowing that, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Playing a sold-out show at the Ryman residency is what I'd like to do. That's my chapel, and I'd like to have played a really grimy punk mosh pit venue the night before. I want to go have a private impromptu, no tickets, first come, first serve.
And you'll dive in the crowd.
200 cap, grimy bar show, go home, take a shower, and play the Ryman the next day. Sold out.
Wow.
Love that. So let's look 15 years down the road. Let's say that you're a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you're there. If the person you are today could meet him, your future successful self, what would you want to remind him?
Never sell a guitar. Keep them all. Buy all the guitars you can. I'll tell him to choose happiness. I would tell him to stick with it. Have a plan. The plan can change, but always have a plan. And I would tell him to probably drink a little less. And when he does, drink the expensive stuff. And I'd tell him to call his grandma, tell him to call mom. I'd tell him to book a trip with his dad, and definitely don't sell any guitars.
Wow, love that.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it before?
A punk version of Jackson Brown.
Oh, love that.
Jackson Brown, if he had sleeves, his hair was like this, and he was on a skateboard listening to emo screamo music.
And what would you like your legacy to be as an artist? What would you like to be known for?
I would like to be known for great lyrics that made people, and music that made people happy to be where they were.
Awesome.
Love that. So as we come to a close here, let's say you had a friend of yours and you heard him or her sing and they've got something special. As Simon Cowell would say, they have that it factor. And let's say they've played 40 or 50 shows, so they're still getting their feet wet on the performance side, but they've gotten on stage, and we've got every artist says that stage bug where they look over the crowd and the crowd's roaring for them. They know they're in the right place, and they come to you and they say, Sam, I know I'm supposed to do this with the rest of my life. What advice would you give that specific person to kind of help guide them the next couple of years?
Do the work. Do the work. There's only two people in the music industry, and that's people who are here to have fun, or the people who are here to do something and get it done.
And by doing the work, you outlast everybody.
You outlast everybody, and it's a lot more fun.
And you know, speaking about lasting, I love the little, and you see, as you can tell, I like to tell stories, but there's a little story of two guys in the woods, and a bear comes up, and one guy jumps down, putting his shoes on. The other guy's like, you can't outrun that bear. The guy says, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how I see the industry is you just have to outlast people. It's nothing bad, because there's going to be a lot of people who quit. As sad as that is, they're going to lose that passion. They're going to get frustrated. They're going to quit. And as they start falling out, you're 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, all of a sudden your cream starts rising.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
It's like you said, people like the work ethic. And if you're putting in that work, they see that, and next thing you know, connections start happening.
Absolutely. That's just time thing. Meet the people, shake the hands,
and kiss the babies. So as we come to a close here, tell everybody how they can reach out to you.
Please follow me on everything. It's Sam Varga Music on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify. Get out there, listen to some music. Let me know. I'd love to meet y'all, to talk to y'all, and yeah, Sam Varga Music.
That. You know, we really enjoyed having you on the show today. We look forward to having you back.
Anytime. Y'all just let me know, and let me know whenever y'all get to Nashville.
We will.
We're
coming up soon, like I told you.
Yes, within the next month, sometime at least. Hopefully, a couple weeks.
Sounds good, y'all.